Hello, and welcome to Dice with Death. Cute little dice rolling roguelike. I've only played a little bit, so I will have a nice mixture of being able to explore new mechanics with you, as well as understand it well enough that hopefully we don't just fumble immediately. Fumble actually being a mechanic in this game. Excuse me. I haven't done Pinnacle mode. Let's fight against the soldier as the soldier. I do tend to like the spear synergies. So let's start with that. And then spear's good with dice that have lots of different numbers on them, so it's more likely to get the straights. Although full house, I guess it doesn't super matter. You can just take whatever's good. Dice that want you to bank them, I think, are a little bit better than dice that want you to roll them. So the way this works, this is like Farkle, actually. If you've not played Farkle before, you like have 6 dice, you roll them, and you can make different sets. Like a pair, 2 pair, kind of like poker hands. We get relics that make our stuff better, and like help us as we play, and then we have a set of dice that each die can have its own abilities. So, for example, gain armor when you roll equal to the rolled face on this dice. So whenever you roll it, you gain armor. Armor protects you from damage. Ring relics are not what we're doing. We're doing spear relics. There are a lot of relics that synergize with relics of that type. So rings want you to pick up more rings. Spears want you to pick up more spears. We're less likely to take rings for that reason. So that was okay. It's not my favorite. Although it actually might be my favorite of these 4. I guess I'll take the salve. And then we can choose another one. I guess middle numbers are better for... Oh, but this is good with... No, this is not what I thought it was. I thought this was good with straights. The sword wants us to pick straights and full houses, so dice with lots of different numbers on them are good for straights. If you are missing, if most of your dice don't have a 3 on it, it can be really hard to get straights. Although, kind of like straights in Balatro, or poker in general, is that the middle numbers are better for making straights, right? So, like, if you don't have a 3, you can't make a straight at all. A straight is either 1 to 5 or 2 to 6. You can also do 1 to 6, which is the best, but not super likely. This is not useful. So I guess we just take the Chimera dice. It is like RNG if it does useful things or not useful things, although poison is... Like, heal and damage kind of offset themselves. Poison is an outlier on how good it is, because poison is just damage per turn. So I guess we take that. And now we have the 3 kind of I mean, not kind of. We always get a 3 now. Okay, we get a full house here. Which is good enough to trigger the Spear of Corrosion. So you can see that 45 poison on them. And as with Farkle, you can either like keep rolling or just pass and actually get the points. In this case, the points deal damage to your opponent. If we rolled here, if you miss, if you don't have any hands to make, and like, you know, high card is a hand in poker, but not in Farkle. So if we rolled these 2, the only way we would be able to continue to get value out of that is if they were a pair, exactly, which is a 1 in 6 chance, which is not worth going for. We just pass and deal the 69 damage. Dice like Salve that give you benefits when you roll them, sometimes it's worth it to like miss the damage just to roll it so you can get the benefit out of it. Healing just a little bit is not a good benefit, but there are some benefits that are actually like better than 20, 30, 40 damage. In this case, we got a full house, which is a lot of points, so you definitely just want to bank that. So I think the flavor here of Pinnacle is rather than fighting against death, you're fighting against like an actual player character with like player character relics. Death has his own mechanics and relics and stuff. So it probably would have been better to play a game against Death, but I wanted to try this one out because I hadn't seen it before. See, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is a straight. So So we bank that, and this poisons for a bunch by us choosing to do that. Our damage is decent, but more important is, like, we're super head on the poison. And again, poison does damage every turn, so it's, like, very effective damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and our opponent is dead. Even a pair would kill them. You see, they're actually not. We could just do nothing and they would die because they are taking poison at the start of their turn. Ooh, another spear. Look at that. Healing spear. This time, we'll take it. The spears seem to synergize really well. I had a crazy spear the other day that was, giving you stacks of damage negation, which just meant, like, on their turn they couldn't deal damage to, which isn't, like, overpowered unless you can stack them, but when you have more spears, the effect that it's triggering becomes multiplicative, and I had 3 spears, and so I was gaining, like, if I played a full house or a straight, I gained 3 stacks of damage negation, which is crazy. Your opponent can deal more than one instance of damage on their turn at a time, which could chew through the damage negation, but it didn't. It was just an easy win. By the way, it's been a while since I've recorded. Recently, my audio setup broke, which was very sad. No straight or full house here, but we'll just take the 3 pair. But I think my new audio setup, which is actually a revamp of an old audio setup I had, but I think it's better than my old one. I found some settings in OBS that make it, I think the audio quality is just good, but you'll have to let me know. You never know until you actually publish something and see if it is good or if it is just lousy. Anyway, we win right away. So our opponent's gaining relics and dice. We could look at what they do, but I'm not super interested. We just keep taking the spears and it should be easy. This spear applies curses to the opponent, which is like debuffs, you know, weak, vulnerable, that sort of thing. All reinforcement. See your opponent rolls. Add counters to this rock. At the end of your turn, deal damage equal to the counters on to your opponent. That's kind of scary. Does it have a maximum number of counters, or does it just keep stacking up infinitely? Because we roll reinforcement dice whenever we get 3 or more of a kind in our starting hand. So that could be bad. I once sat with a man who took much pride in his profession. I really like the aesthetic of this game, so I don't know if I'll play a lot of this, but I did want to do just a recording of it to show it off. It's not extremely beautiful, but it's a nice style. I think the style really works, it's cute, and the mechanics are fun. I didn't think I was really going to enjoy this game, but I think the balance was good enough that I would lose. I'm like, this game's dumb, and then like an hour later, I'm like, actually, hold on. I want to go back and try and win, which is, I think, the hallmark of a good roguelike experience. Anyway, many are defeated by their work, I suppose. Executioner. If your opponent is below 20% health, deal 100 damage to them the first time you pick this dice. He spoke at length of his skill at removing a head from a body. I thought he was going to be a doctor. He did describe his work as surgically delivered justice, so perhaps he was. I'm not interested in this. We're stacking poison, which means once we get them to below 20% health, the poison will do the rest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, or 1, 1, 3, 3, 5, 5, 2, 2, 2, 6, 1, 1, 1, 6, 6, 6. This is the best one. It's more poison, and it's only missing a top number, which means it's better for straights, and I guess better for... I don't know if it's actually better. We don't have any extra 5s on any of our dice. Actually, we're missing a 5 here. Sergeant's dice is not good for straights, actually. It's missing 4 and 5. But this gives me extra 5, so that kind of helps make up, I guess. Anyway, it's the pick for sure. We have rerolls, which we could have used there to try and find something we liked better, but this was good enough. Not a great opening hand. Probably just take the 2 pair and pass. Sometimes you take just the single pair instead of a 2 pair, even when you have a 2 pair, just so you have more dice to roll with, so you can roll again. If you spend all of your dice, then you get to start over with rolling all 6 again, which is the ideal. Ooh, nice. The reinforcement die giving us the 5, so we can make a full house. It's very useful, because now we trigger all of our swords. You can see they have all these things. if you have 2 or more spears, 3 or more spears, 4. So everything's doing 3x. If we got another spear, it would do even more. It would do 4x. Oh, I didn't mean to roll. I got super lucky. I definitely should have passed there, but holy, we got the 1 in 6 chance of getting a pair, so that we get to bank it. And so it's only 17 more damage here, which is not a high reward for such a high risk. But you can see that there is value. If you bank all of them, you get perfect bank, and then you get to go around again. So we have all of our dice back. We still have our 81 points. I could get another full house here. I did not. Oh, wait. No, I didn't. Nor did I get a straight. But 4 of a kind. This time we will not risk it. We pass, deal 120 damage. They're dead, guaranteed next turn. We have 150 poison on them. GG's. Unless they could have killed us there, which there was no way they could have. Nice. The reinforcement die gave us the full house again. Again, not that it matters. I could have done nothing here and we would have been fine. Wow, another spear. I mean, we take it. Take all the spears. This one deals damage just directly, which is nice. I want the damage negation one. I told you all was OP last time I saw it. We'll just play the 3 pair. So yeah, their synergies can get out of hand. You can see he's rolling so many dice. Dealt a bunch of damage to me. Because I have taken 4 spears, I really need to find my straight or full house sooner in the round rather than later. The opponent doesn't necessarily give you a lot of time to just dink around. And because poison, of the mechanics of poison, getting the full house or straight sooner rather than later matters a lot too. Also, I think we're just dead. Yeah, just killed us. Crazy. Okay, we will run it back just on. I don't know. Pinnacle seemed fine. Let's run it back again. Let's do this. Fight the soldier again. I guess we can do reinforcement synergies. It's a little bit scary because apparently he has a relic that counters reinforcement stuff. To get reinforcement die as much as possible, well, we also have, whenever you summon a reinforcement dice, I should say die is singular, right? Heal for 10. So, and this dice gives us reinforcement die. When we get a 6 on it, it has 2 6s on it. And then if we get a 3 or more of a kind on our first roll, we get a reinforcement die. So there are really good synergies with that. So now we can choose dice that make us more likely to get 3 or more of a kind on our first roll. So things that have a lot of the same number is good. This is 2, 2, 3, 3, 6, 6. So 2s and 6s, 2s and 3s and 6s. Kind of good. 4s and 6s here, pretty good. 2s, 4s, and 6s. This has a better effect, so we'll take the plated dice. And then 1s and 4s, all 3s. The 1s and 4s go well with the plated dice. Also, healing poison is useful. He also heals poison, it looks like. It's not that much. Oh no, this is different. Insane roll. 2 3 of a kinds mean you can just bank all of them, and then get all your dice back and go again. This time we can do 1 1 1 4 4. Full house is better than 4 of a kind in this game, so this is the most damage we can do, and it is a lot of damage. You can see you can heal above your max health as well. So we healed by getting all those reinforcement dice. Terrible roll here. So in this case, yeah, we're not super likely to get a hand if we just roll. Actually, we are, because we have the 4 4s here and the 3 4s here, and then just 2 extra dice on top of that. But let's say we only had 2 dice left. You might still choose to roll in that situation just because 17 damage is so meaningless. Nice, we got 3 of a kind, which rolls reinforcement dice. Actually, why does 3 of a kind roll reinforcement dice? Because it says only when you roll 3 or more kind in your initial roll, which that was not. Not sure. But all we get is the 3 of a kind, we bank it, and now we couldn't form a hand no matter. Well, I was gonna say no matter what. Technically, since this can spawn another die, if you rolled this, got a 6, and then it rolled an extra die, and that also got a 6, you could technically keep going on that, but you basically should never roll when you only have 1 die left, even if there's not a lot of points in your bank that you want to deal the damage with. There's like no realistic benefit to rolling with only 1 left. With 3 left, it's close, but we're ahead on the race, so we don't need to risk it. That's another thing, is like you can just see like how many turns it's going to take before you kill your opponent, and how many turns it's going to take before they kill you. If they're guaranteed to kill you next turn, then you just like roll no matter what, because you need to find it out for lethal. 2, 2, 4, 4 we could do, and just deal, yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, that's a damage race calculation. If I felt like we need to get luckier, I would have just banked 2 dice and re-rolled with 4 to try and get lucky into banking all of them. 3, 3, 4, 4, same thing. Hope we're not falling behind in the race. It looks like he's slowly catching up as I just deal 40 damage per round. Maybe not. That was a good roll. This shouldn't be lethal, but there's no way he has lethal on me. So we set up 2-turn lethal. He's down to 26, which means most any hand kills. 4, 4, 1, 1. Yep, it's good enough. Okay, so now you can see the ring that I was talking about. We could start taking rings, but because we took a reinforcement relic and we already have 2 of those and a reinforcement die, we have a couple of reinforcement options here that are quite good. First roll every round automatically triggers reinforcement dice. Every 6 in your initial roll has a 25% chance to trigger reinforcement dice. This is better first, but the other one becomes better later. I don't think reinforcement dice can trigger reinforcement dice, actually, so maybe they don't really synergize other than the fact that they both spawn. But I don't think like this one, if it spawns 6s, can then have a chance of spawning more reinforcement dice. 1, 1, 1, 5, 5, full house, and then we could roll 4 after that. That's decent. Yeah, let's do it. 58 is not a great number to lose. Like, you don't want to lose that, but it's early in the run, so you want to like stack your advantages, like armor sooner. I guess we don't have poison. Usually that matters more for poison, but we don't actually have poison. Still, rolling 4 is like pretty decent odds of seeing something. That's the nice thing about reinforcement dice is you can bank like a hand of 5 dice, but still have like 4 or 5 dice left for your next roll again, because you're banking dice that aren't your permanent 6 dice that you start with. What's the best way to do this? We could do a full house with the 4s, or, and this is kind of that synergy I was talking about, you can just bank 2 dice. A pair is not that much, but then we get to roll with all 6 of our dice again, which is good, because every time we roll reinforcement dice, we heal, and every time we roll the armored die, we gain armor. So stretching out your die rolls into multiple rolls is pretty good. Here, we're just gonna do the same thing, bank a pair, and then roll again. Ooh, we got a pair, okay. And now we only have 3 dice left. 65 damage is good enough, we'll just deal it, but you can see we squeeze a little bit more value by slow playing it there. There are quite a few relics that reward you a lot more for slow playing it turn after turn. like ring relics do that, because ring relics count up for every... Let's just bank these two. Ring relics count up for every... Oops, I should have kept... I wanted to keep rolling. That was a mistake. Ring relics count up for just like all the total numbers on your dice every time you roll. So if you can squeeze any particular turn into a bunch of rolls where you just bank very few dice at a time, that can be advantageous. Also, don't misplay here. Look at this. We have the full straights, so we bank them all, and then we get all of our dice back. Uh, 11144 or 111444 is probably the best. Not lethal, but he certainly can't kill us from 265, and we should have lethal next turn. Oh, he heals a little bit. He's at 62. Not guaranteed lethal, but we have 2 turns if we need it. Just bank 2 and then roll again. Nice. This will be lethal. Okay, more reinforcement synergies, more reinforcement synergies, more reinforcement synergies. I think the lucky bullet's the best. So we have 2 extra 2s, extra 3s, extra 6s, extra 4s, fewer 2s, fewer 3s here actually. Extra 4s, lots of extra 4s. So maybe we just take anything with a 4. We have some extra 2s on here, but we're missing 2s on the other ones. I'm gonna roll 1, so we have 3 rerolls. Okay, 2, 3, 4. I like this. 2, 3, 6. The extra 4s are good. Replace one of our regular dice. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or we slow roll it. It's not a huge reason to slow roll it. I mean, how good is a straight? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 100, yeah, just deal 101 damage. Okay, he's starting to roll lots of dice. His synergies are getting very powerful. You can see he dealt 170 damage to us there. So he has lethal in 2 turns if he keeps up that rate. Terrible hand. Let's bank this and see if we can get lucky. 46 damage. Or a 1 and 3. Or, sorry, 1 and 6 to get a pair and keep going. We might need to try and get lucky here. Okay. We got a little lucky in that we got a 6 on our sergeant dice, so we were able to roll a reinforcement, which also then got lucky to hit the 12% to deal 100 damage. So it ended up being worth it, even though we did ultimately fumble. If we drink this, he shouldn't have lethal on his turn. Not a good roll. We could just do a straight, but that's not good enough. We need to try and get lucky again. Okay. I mean, we could do this and try and get lucky one more time, or we can just deal 73 damage. It's actually really close. I'm gonna try and get lucky one more time. I feel like we're really far behind. He still has 300, almost 300 health, 259. Okay. We end up dealing the same amount of damage, but at least we gave ourselves a chance to get another reinforcement die, or bank all of our dice. Okay, he didn't kill us, but he should have lethal next turn, but maybe not through our potion. So this potion gives us 50 health. Also, that's a good roll. Unfortunately, it's not enough to kill. If I just bank 2 3 of a kinds for 90 damage, that's great, but it doesn't kill him. But it does set up for lethal next turn a lot of the time. I mean, not a lot of the time, right? This is one of the better amounts of damage we've done, and if we did this 2 turns in a row, he still wouldn't be dead. So I think what we need to do is just bank 2 dice, and then roll all 6 again, and try and get lucky.
Good shooting.
Now we're very close. So this would put him down to lethal for next turn, and then we just need to survive 1 turn, drink the potion, that's pretty guaranteed. Okay. 2-2, 6-6. Yeah, I like this. It looks like it won't let me do it right now. It'll probably let me do it when I hit bank, yeah. Hit bank, then I drink the potion, then I pass, and he's dead next turn pretty easily, and we are alive almost certainly. Yeah, you can see we didn't quite need to drink the potion, but it was really close. We would have survived at 9. So, all things considered, I suppose I'm glad I drank it. Just to be safe. And then full house is lethal, right? Yeah. Okay, we need to get a lot stronger. This gives us a way to turn our reinforcement dice into damage, but not at a We have lots of even numbers. We might need to roll here. Diamond ring's okay. Healing based on numbers. We have lots of numbers because we have the reinforcement dice. Dealing 15 damage for each reinforcement dice really doesn't matter. Gonna roll once. He's not doing poison, so Ivory Pawn doesn't do anything. Spyglass is okay. More reinforcement dice is what we need, actually. Or we could just roll again. We have a decent number of 6s, right? Actually, not that many. I guess we have 6 total 6s across our 6 dice. It's just that 2 of them have no 6s and 2 of them have 2 6s. Not sure what that means for how good I should expect Spyglass to be. But I think I want to save a reroll, and Spyglass is good enough. Oh, this is great. Right, we got super lucky. We got 1, 1, 2, 2, 4, 4. Which makes all of them, so we get to roll again. Well, this was super unlucky, though, so... Not super unlucky. Oh, do we risk it? 113 damage is very good, but 4 dice has a high chance of yielding something of value. Although these are not terribly... they are, right? We've got extra 2s, extra 3s, extra 2s, extra 3s. Pretty good chance that we don't get wrecked here. Nice, nice. And we didn't. Yep, just bank these. Squeezed in 30 more damage. That might matter. He's now got his own lucky bullet.
Good shooting.
No way to bank all of our dice here. It's close, but not quite. We would have to leave the 5 behind and get 3 pairs. Alternatively, we just bank these 2, and then roll 5 dice. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, we can do the same thing, just bank 2 and then roll 4 dice. But we missed. Well, looks like our bullet triggered from our sergeant's dice, so we actually dealt the most damage by continuing to roll there. He's down to 178, we're at 163. I think this is looking good for us. I think we're favored here. Although we have to play this right. 51 versus 59. So 59 damage. Ooh, does not set up for an easy lethal next turn. So we can instead be a little greedy and just bank a pair and then roll 5 dice again. Yeah, that's the best way to do it. Oh, super lucky. Our reinforcement dice gave us the 3 pair, which now lets us bank everything. Might even kill him this turn. We do not. But that's fine. We're now at over 200 with our health and armor, which is super safe. He's down to 19. He shouldn't be able to heal enough to get out of range or deal enough damage. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Classic 101. Next round. These are not very good. I want to try Hollow Hand, but I would want to try it earlier on in a run. Right now it just makes us weaker, and then I don't know what the payoff is, but I can't afford to be weaker right now. We're out of rerolls, so Merchant still is good for that reason. Although I don't know how many rounds are left. Not many. Maybe 1 after this. It gives us damage negation. He doesn't have a lot of different ways to deal damage. That's not true. Holy cheap shot. All reinforcements your opponent rolls add counters to this relic. End of your turn, deal damage equal. So he's dealing 36 damage to us every turn from this relic. That's insane. Yeah, we're so screwed. I don't know if we can beat a soldier with a reinforcement deck because of how cheap shot works. But I guess Merchant still helps-ish. Another warrior sat with me. Once, he gave his life defending his king. That's a noble end for someone in my profession. When the time came for his king to sit with me, he did not mention him. Blue bloods be damned, I'm not surprised. Whoa, King's Guard, that's so cool. I made the warrior this, nothing remains of the king. I think that would mean a lot to the warrior. That pleases me. Yeah, let's take it. Replace a regular die. It has a 0 on it, which is not great for reinforcing, but it also reinforces just kind of its own accord, which is cool. And you can see here we can bank 4 dice without spending any of our dice, which is... Yeah, we're increasing the damage of his cheap shot, though. Just do 2 5s and roll all of our dice again. Getting a 2 on this is so lucky. 4 4. Yeah, we'll keep doing this. We'll keep looking at if we can bank all 6 of our dice at once, but if not, we'll just bank the reinforcement dice only. Oh, this has a 3 on it too. Super lucky. 3 3 4 4 5 2. Yeah, so we just bank 2 reinforcement dice and go again. Alright, this time we have to bank a non-reinforcement die. That's okay. I think I just banked 2 and rolled 5. Yeah, we got a 3 here. Super good. Dang, is this lethal? Yeah, it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a way to win, is never give your opponent a turn to get their cheap shot off. If your roll contains only odd numbers, immediately deal 35 damage to your opponent and heal 35 damage. I think we just look for more reinforcement dice synergies. Since we got all these rerolls back. Stolen Opal. Gives me 2 random rare relics. At this point, that might be worth snagging. Now let's reroll once more. Alright, we'll take the pickaxe. Pickaxe is good. It gives you an extra die sometimes, or extra trinkets. If you bank this dice as part of a straight, gain a stack of damage negation. Oh, that's really good. What the heck? This is so many dice. There's no way to bank all of our dice. That's fine. We can just bank a full house with just our reinforcement dice. Or 5, 4, 3, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2 to get a stack of damage negation. Yeah, that's better. Charge. And then we still roll with these 5. Okay, we bank those. Roll with these 5 again. Six, 6, 4, 4. Bank that. Roll with these 5 again. Alright, this time we'd only be rolling with 4, and I just don't want to risk what could be 170 damage. So just deal the 173 damage. We got a stack of damage negation. We've healed up. Things are going very well. Well, that was an effective turn for our opponent. Multiply the value of all blankable hands. Oh, bankable hands. By the face value of this dice. Probably just a 2 and then roll it back. The pickaxe, when it gives you an extra die, which is just a random chance to happen, it's happened both turns in a row now. It gives you a random thing a random swing every turn. It's not always dice, but it has been twice in a row now. But that extra die that it gives you only shows up for your first initial roll. So if you bank stuff other than it, it goes away when you pick up the remaining dice to roll again. So it's kind of like a reinforcement die just for the first initial roll only. Not amazing, but I mean, we don't have any damage hanging around here, so we just risk. We lose a die, but we just keep rolling. Same thing here, although this time, no. I was going to say this time we could do a lot better by just taking a straight and then cashing in, but we actually can't get a straight because we don't have a 3. So we take the small pair and then just hope we get lucky rolling these 3. Got lucky enough. 72 damage. So 1 and 9 to not brick. It's slightly better than that because this, if it rolls a 6, actually gives us another shot with the reinforcement die that it rolls. But 72 damage, I think we're winning the race. Are we? Are we? This should say 4 or fewer dice. It's annoying. I just don't understand this relic. When does your initial roll contain 4 or fewer dice? Well, he has 57 armor. We're actually a little behind. Maybe I do risk it. The 1 in 9? No way. Got another die. It's a treasure cube. Okay. It's good damage. Let's just bank the reinforcement dice and keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Huge. This should be a win. That bullet's getting lucky. We need 100 more damage, actually, for this to actually be a win right now. Nope, we actually got it because of the bullet again, so we can just pass. I mean, we can bank and then pass. Is that a victory? Nope, one more round. We can do this. Okay. The Onyx ring's no good because it synergizes with other rings. Stolen Obol is okay. We got 2 more rerolls. 2 random rares at some point partway through the round, I think would not be as good as just finding more reinforcement dice synergies. So let's look for them. This is decent, actually, since we have a lot of extra evens. This has 5 even numbers. This has 4 even numbers. This has 4 even numbers. This has 4 even numbers. This has 3/4 even numbers. I don't know if the blank counts as a 0. But with all the reinforcement dice, it's not very common that this triggers. Let's roll one more time. Okay, we'll take the blasting charge. It synergizes with the pickaxe. And we don't want the odd numbers. And we don't have rerolls. I would have rather had the 2 random rares partway through the round or whatever, but that's okay. Alpha dice is one of my favorites. Gives you a chance to get tons of reinforcement dice, which would just win us the run. Oh, what did he get? Rolling a reinforcement dice adds 5 armor to yourself. That's not good, and his cheap shot's up to 92. We need to get pretty lucky here. Our pickaxe got a trinket here. You can see the heal 50. It's a lot of reinforcement dice. We do a full house? No, we do 2 3-of-a-kinds. And then roll again. I guess we do a straight. 2, 3, 5, 6. Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh my gosh. He totally turned the tables on that. Oh, except he fumbled? He fumbled, that's huge. We would have been, like, dead. We would have literally been, like, less than 50 health if he hadn't fumbled. It was super unlikely for him to fumble. He's also back up to 390 effective health. Crazy. 2, 3, 4, no, 4, 4, 4, yeah, so we just bank the reinforcement dice and try and get more reinforcement dice. Huge. That's the alpha dice that gave us that 6 reinforce, that's so good. And just make sure we don't have a 6 bank on our original. No, we don't. So we do 2, 2, 2, 5, 5, 5, 2 3-of-a-kinds, I think is the best way to do it. Oh, and we have lethal. Nice. I think we won. Your reinforcements have proven effective and irksome, says the being with the weighted lucky dice. You didn't get to see his lucky dice. All reinforcements your opponent rolls adds counters to this relic. Yeah, we've seen this. It would be good if we had it sooner in the run. Not sure I like the sound of that. Yeah, there it is. That's Dice with Death. Good place to end the episode. It's a fun game. I don't know if it has a ton of longevity to it, but like I said, I like the aesthetic, and the balance has been enough that even when I thought I was like, I'll put this down now, then I'm like, I should come back to it. The synergies are satisfying, and we'll see if the medic progression is any good. I don't know if I'll record more videos of it, but I did want to showcase it. Cute game. Thanks for joining us. I'm probably gonna do a bunch more videos in the near future since I'm off of work for a short while, but we'll see. Take care.